So, is there anyone in this room who would like to have a better memory? Better being able to remember things is okay, that's not half of you. And other people in this room would like to have better concentration, better being able to focus on your job and not get distracted all the time. It's even more people. Well, I can tell you, if these things don't work the way you want them to, it may have to do with stress. And luckily, there are things you can do to improve it. I'm trained as a neurobiologist and I work as a science journalist, so you can say I know a thing or two about this special organ, but there can be a quiet gap between knowing a lot about brain and actually being good to it, I learned. When I started off as a science journalist 20 years ago, I was so eager to show the world that I could do it. I took on every assignment I could have. I interviewed every hustle around. I walked away past midnight. And I had to get up early because I had two little kids and a hardworking husband, also challenges and no time to think. Now we all know where that leads to, right? I couldn't believe it, but I had a burnout. And I felt my brain had just given up on me. I wasn't able to plan anymore. I couldn't decide from a large to-do list what to do first, what to do next. I couldn't concentrate on my work. I couldn't remember anything, and my emotions were over the place, nearly low. And as a science journalist, as a brain scientist, I knew that chronic stress is devastating for your brain. It gets marinated in a toxic cocktail of stress hormones and it affects two areas in particular. The first area is the frontal lobe. And I brought a human brain model here, and it sits in your head like this. And this frontal lobe, we use this to do exactly all the things I just mentioned, to make a set of goals, to make a plan, to decide what to do first, what to do next. It's a set of your working memory. You use it to focus on your job and keeps your emotions under control. And the second value part is the hippocampus. It's on either side of the brain, a bit more in the middle. And this is the core of our memory. Now, why are these two areas so sensitive to stress? It's because stress hormones, high stress hormone levels, literally make these cells in these areas shrink. You see brain cell here of the red. This is cell body, and you see all those long extensions, those branches and turns, and they reach out to other neurons and they make contact with each other, so they form a network. And then red, and people who are chronically stressed, you see that the branches disappear, the contacts break down, that it just dissolve, and the network just doesn't work as well anymore. So that's bad news, right? But luckily, Brain Sun has revealed many things you can do to counteract it. And I discovered that when I delve into the literature and search for ways to improve the brain, I will share with you the four most important ones. By far, the best thing you can do for your brain is be physically active. Now, we all know that being physically active is good for you, right? But there can be quite a gap between knowing this and actually doing it. Yeah. But when we're working out, it's not just good because your heart starts pumping and you get oxygen to your brain. While you are being physically active, your brain actually makes growth factor that stimulates the alga of these branches. They grow up again and re-establish contact. Maybe even new cells are formed. So while you're working out, you're not just working on a gorgeous body, but you're also working on a gorgeous mind. And you don't have to run a marathon if that's not your thing, because the research shows that people who just work briskly for 3 times a week, 45 minutes a day, a week period, 3 times a week, 45 minutes, the hippocampus is already bigger in size than in people who only do stretching exercise. So I used to decide first get that deadline and then go to the gym, maybe later, maybe next week, but I don't do that anymore. And we will first go to the gym and then get a deadline. The second very important thing you can do for your brain is sleep well. Now, I would like to see your hands. Who of you had left 8 hours left last night? 8 hours. Where you are doing quite okay. I think it's 45%, 40%. There can be quite a gap between knowing that sleep is good for you and actually do it. But I can tell you, and you may know already, sleep loss is a chronic stressor for your brain as well. Already after one night without sleep, you know that your concentration isn't bad, your memory is worse. You're irritable, so that's only after one night of sleep. This area behind your forehead starts malfunctioning that long after many nights of too little sleep. While we sleep, our brain reorganizes itself. The good connections are strengthened, the bad connections are taken out, and it washes itself clean from waste products. So we really need that for a good working brain. Now I told you I watch my night, but I don't do that anymore. I make sure I get my 8 hours of sleep. It's really difficult for me because I'm a 9 hour and I would like to stay up late. But whenever I miss an hour I make sure I make for it in the next night. Of course, your brain then also needs good building blocks, food, and doing food research. It's very difficult, it's very hard to pinpoint which specific vitamin or mineral is good for your brain. But for an entire eating party, it's perfectly clear. People eat a Mediterranean have better brain for a longer time, with a better memory and better concentration. Now, what is that? Mediterranean. It sounds like pizza and pasta, maybe you thought it, but that's not the case. It's large amounts of fruits and vegetables. That's the basis. You see fish here, lying fish here, very important because it provides omega-3 fatty acid and these essential building blocks for our brain. And we cannot make them ourselves. When you see some other proteins and carbs, you also see this healthy fat, olive oil, and nuts. And in some studies, these seem to be the two secret ingredients that keep your brain healthy for a long time. To say. Maybe some eyes in the room has spotted a bottle of red wine. I don't know if you saw that. I had it here behind the label. No, it's not good for you. I'm sorry, not for your brain at least. Then there is a fourth thing that you can do for your brain is that meditate. And this may be even a harder area to do research on, but there is an increasing fire scientific papers that show that daily meditation can have beneficial effect on your focus and your attention. And a basic way you can look at meditation as a training of your attention, because you sit with your eyes closed and you focus on your breath, and your mind wears up to something you have to do and put it back on your breath, and it happens, and you train your attention and also your flexibility, your emotion control. Many of these functional brain behind your forehead are strengthened by meditation training. So you can try if you like, but into your routine in the morning or just before you go to bed, and you can start with 4 minutes a day and see how it goes. I do it every day, and in times I don't really miss it. So with these 4 adjustments in your life, you can really counter the devastating effect of chronic stress and make your brain resilient to it. I built this into my routines ever since my burnout, and I must say my brain worked well again, maybe even better than ever. And I know that perfectly fine to work hard and long hours as long as I take good care of my brain. So I hope I've made a gap between knowing and doing a little bit smaller for you today. And I can only ask you, please be good to your brain because it's the crown of who you are. So treat her like a cream. Thank you.